You know, we all think we know the dairy cow, right? A gentle herbivore, just peacefully chewing on grass. But what if I told you that inside this simple plant eater is the complex machinery of a carnivore? Let's dive into the really surprising science of the dairy cow. So, when we picture a cow, this is usually what comes to mind: a peaceful grazer hanging out in a field. And yeah, it's the classic image of a simple herbivore. But behind that calm exterior, there is a remarkable biological secret just waiting to be uncovered. I know, it sounds completely impossible, but it's true. The proof, though, isn't in what the cow eats, it's all about how it eats. So to understand this, we have to look past the grass and go straight to the engine room, the cow's digestive system. Okay, so first up, we're going to deconstruct our most basic assumptions about what a cow actually is. Because believe me, it's a lot more than just what we see on the outside. Now, today's dairy cow has been bred to be an incredible milk producer, no doubt about it. But according to dairy nutritionist Dr. Over Kroll, that's really just a surface-level change. Fundamentally, its ancient, highly specialized digestive system is exactly the same as its wild ancestors, and that is where the real secret is hiding. So now, let's take a little journey into the cow's most important feature: its totally unique digestive system. This is where we're going to uncover the secret recipe to its, well, carnivorous nature. At the heart of this whole thing is the rumen. Now, you should think of it less as a stomach and more as a massive living ecosystem. I mean, this fermentation tank takes up about a third of the cow's entire body, and it's the engine room where all the real magic happens. And the process itself is completely counterintuitive. I mean, we're all taught to chew our food really well before we swallow. A cow? It does the exact opposite. It swallows first, lets all that food ferment inside the rumen, and only then does it bring it back up as cud to chew it properly. This whole strange process is designed for one very specific reason. And here's the crucial point. The cow isn't really eating that grass for itself. It's a microbe farmer. Seriously, it's swallowing all that plant matter just to feed the trillions of bacteria and protozoa living inside its rumen. These little microorganisms are the ones who break down the tough plant fibers that the cow can't even digest on its own. Okay, and here it is. This is the big reveal. The cow doesn't get its nutrition from the plants. It gets it from digesting the trillions of microbes that ate the plants for it. And just look at this chart. The protein from these microorganisms has the exact same biological value as meat. So the cow's a farmer, right? It's growing a crop of microbes on plant matter and then harvesting that crop for food. It is effectively a carnivore. You know, this system is just brilliantly efficient. The microbial protein that's grown right inside the rumen is the perfect food for the cow. In fact, its amino acid profile is an almost perfect match for the profile of milk itself. It's like nature designed this self-contained factory that's custom making the perfect ingredients right inside the animal. But as you can imagine, farming trillions of tiny creatures inside your own stomach isn't simple. Not at all. It requires a very, very delicate balance. So let's look at what it takes to create the perfect meal for this internal ecosystem. So to keep this internal farm healthy and happy, a cow's diet has to be perfectly balanced between two key things. On one hand, you've got long fibers, roughage. This is what makes the cow chew its cud, which produces saliva to keep the rumen from getting too acidic, and it slows the whole process down. On the other hand, you've got starches and sugars. That's the quick energy the microbes need to grow. Too little energy and the microbes starve. Too much and the rumen becomes dangerously acidic. It's a real tightrope walk. So the entire science of dairy nutrition really just comes down to this: finding the perfect balance between consumption and digestibility. It's a constant negotiation, managed by the farmer day in and day out to keep that internal ecosystem running at peak efficiency. But hang on, if it's all just science and formulas, you'd expect every farm using the same feed to get the same results, right? Well, they don't. And this is where the story takes another surprising turn, moving us beyond the textbook and into the real world. As Dr. Kroll puts it, all these nutritional models, they're kind of like travel guides. They give you a map, maybe teach you a few key phrases, but they can't possibly prepare you for the unpredictable reality you're going to find on the ground. And look, this isn't just a theory. The data proves it. A study of 29 nearly identical farms, I'm talking the same feed, the same genetics, the same vets, found a staggering difference in milk production. The gap between the best and worst farm was almost 2,000 kilograms per cow per year. That is a huge difference. So here's the key question. If the science was identical, what caused that huge difference? The answer is simple: management. It was the farmer's skill, their daily observations, their moment-to-moment decisions that actually unlocked the herd's true potential. Dr. Kroll just sums this up perfectly. He says it's not about choosing experience over science, it's about combining the two. That hands-on, practical experience is the essential dimension that brings the scientific background to life. It's the art that makes the science actually work. And that brings us to our final section, which is all about the farmer's art. That crucial meeting point between hard science and hands-on experience. This is honestly the perfect analogy to tie it all together. That scientific nutritional formula, that's just the high-performance fuel in the tank. But the best fuel in the world is totally useless without a skilled driver who knows the car and knows the road. The farmer is that driver. So, we're going to end where we began, with the question, what's the real secret to the dairy cow? Is it some perfect scientific formula, or is it the farmer's art, that deep, hands-on understanding of this incredibly complex and surprising animal? The next time you see a cow in a field, maybe you'll see more than just a grazer. You'll see a master farmer, hard at work. Thanks for joining us.